Okay, yeah, sure, I'll throw one out there. For the both of you, I earlier proposed returning the Bearcat to Lenco. The manufacturer is just 2 hours away in Massachusetts, so maybe the police chief could drive it down there personally and give them the keys back. I'm wondering how you feel, would you support a proposal like that? And if not, would you propose anything for dealing with this thing that clearly the people of Keene didn't want? And recently in Concord, the people there made it pretty clear they didn't want it, and their city council voted for one too. So obviously, Kris, you voted for it. Would you change your mind on that?
I went back and forth on the Bearcat. What changed my mind about the Bearcat wasn't the police chief, it was Chief Lamoureux at the fire chief, because he's the emergency coordinator for the Keene and Keene area. And part of the Bearcat, there's other things in the Bearcat that can be used for rescue operations. For example, when we had Hurricane Irene, when a bunch of the roads were washed out and stuff. So that's one of the reasons why I voted for the Bearcat. I have a serious problem, especially now, with policemen who think they're militia or tactical militia. They're policemen, they're police women. They're not military, they're not soldiers. And if they decide to try to act as military, I would have no problem sending the Bearcat back.
My lineage is Scottish, so I'm pretty frugal. I don't like to give things away as a rule. So I don't know what limitations there are as to how the federal government spent the money on that. I'd be willing to say, Concord, you need one, you can have ours. Or I don't know, eBay or auction, or Naughty Pine, somewhere that who's willing to auction it for us. I think that if we can't do this because we're a city, I guess, but if we were to put it on a ballot, I think leave it up to the voters is what do we do with it.
If I can just follow up on Bearcat.
Certainly.
The Bearcat was a piece of military equipment that was sent in Iraq in 2003 and 2004. And as a combat engineer, it's flat and it's really easy to blow up. And so it was taken out of Iraq. Well, what happened was the people in Lenco had pretty good connections with Congress. And so Congress and Homeland Security decided that we were going to save Lenco and decided to, quote unquote, to give these free Bearcats away. But they're not free because there's a little clause in that free package. If DEA or Homeland Security decides that they want to use the Bearcat, they have a right to come in and use the Bearcat anytime they want. So in a lot of ways, the local taxpayers are paying for the Bearcat, basically housing and covering the cost for DEA and Homeland Security.
I'd just like to add, Bob, that the reason I suggested giving it back is because I've heard, I don't know if it's true, I've heard there's a prohibition on selling the thing. So, if we could sell it, I would support the proposal to sell it. Otherwise, just take it back to them.
Or just send it on over to Concord.
Councilor Roberts, do you have a question for